What's up, guys? Joel VALLIE from Media Glitch here, and man, we have a packed show. This is like record-breaking reviews on this show. We have so many games to review. Let me just, allow me. We're gonna review Soulworker. We're gonna review non-plagiarized Dead Cells. And let me just say, IGN, if you ever want to plagiarize anything from us, please do, because that dude went from 10,000 subscribers to 78,000 subscribers. Man, no joke. Anyway, Airships Conquer the Skies, Medieval Shopkeep, Narcosis, Titan Quest, Anamorphine, Grab the Bottle. I mean, this is a packed show. We have a packed show for you guys today. And let me just say, hey guys, welcome to the show. We're gonna start off with America's Next Indie Devs Got Talent Idol Survivor Edition. But before I get into that, I just want to say, I just got back from Game On Expo.
You forgot the Miami.
Miami. Oh, I did. I forgot the Miami. It's a long title. It's a long title. But just got back from Game On Expo. Amazing. Amazing. We're going to be showing, we'll have a show. We'll have different things going up. Interviews with Jennifer Hale, with Troy Baker, with the Mortal Kombat guys. Always a good time. So it's going to be awesome. So look forward to that. But we have a packed show for you guys. Now, America's Next Indie Devs Got Talent Survivor Edition Miami. That's where we review 4 games, okay? They're going to come in. They got 3 minutes or so to kind of pitch their game. I'm going to tell them whether I like it or not, you know? And if I don't like it, I tell them to get off, and you know, the best game wins. Best game wins type of thing. And you guys in the comment section can let us know what you guys think is the best game here. So, yeah, let's get right into this. Dylan?
All right.
What game did you bring to the table this week for the next Indie Devs Got Talent Survivor Edition Miami?
You can go ahead and send everybody on home because I got the best game.
You think you got this?
Let's take a look at Soulworker.
Okay.
All right, so this is an anime-style MMO. It's an action-style game where your character that has your soul is bound to this weapon, and you go into these different instances.
Like Shinobi.
Yeah, and you go into these different instances here, and you queue up. You can either go solo or you can go with a party of 4 people. I actually had kind of a hard time finding.
Could I play this with you?
Yeah, you could.
Oh, okay.
But it's really cool. The visuals, the aesthetics of the game, the gameplay.
It's kind of level 5-ish. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Looks
Big
like straight out of
plastica.
level 5, yeah.
So there's all these different bosses, quests. That's my character that I choose. She's got this awesome scythe.
She's one of those Daisy Dukes, son.
Yeah,
Nice.
you gotta choose your outfit so you can look super awesome in the game. So this is me running through. You got these action bars down below, so you got different combos that you use. I pushed them all together. You can throw them up in the air. You can jump. You can attack them. You got an ultimate ability. It's super cool. This game's actually free to play. It's made by, I think I said, Lion Games Company.
This is free?
It's free. And what's funny is they sent us a small YouTubers pack. So
okay.
That was the code that you gave me.
Oh,
and,
small YouTubers pack.
And it had a bunch of different items in it that help you out. So I had some healing items. The game has an energy system, so as you play, you use that, and over time it refills. So you can only play so much, I guess, to promote healthy gameplay. They also have a microtransaction store, so you can purchase some of that stuff there too.
And they gave you some for free, a couple things.
because we're small YouTubers.
Because we're small YouTubers.
Yep.
That's right. Even though we have this TV show.
Right. So that's what I got for you.
That's awesome, man. Okay, coming out strong, Dustin.
Well, this week,
What do you got?
we have Airships, Conquer the Skies.
That's the name of this?
That's the name of this game. This week we have
Already
Airships.
not off to a good start. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, developers. Calm down.
Developer. It's
developer, okay.
It's developed by David Stark, so just one guy.
Okay.
Now, the music in this game is excellent. Now, the gameplay itself, has a little bit of a learning curve. It takes a lot to get into.
I mean, look at this, dude.
What you do...
That's a little bit. You got blueprints on the screen right now.
Some geometry going
Good
on.
Lord, I know, right? Do I got to know math to do this, man?
You develop your own airships.
It keeps going.
And there's basically, you're on a map, you're trying to take over everywhere on the map. Now the combat segments, it seems a little slow here, but it's actually really in depth. You're moving your airships around,
right?
You're fighting other airships, and you're trying to conquer these different places. So it's an RTS, You have to position your airships around on the map, and then when either you decide to attack someone or they attack you, it starts these combat phases. And the combat gets pretty intense. The map is cool. I mean, the fact that it's all customizable, it's really in depth. You can use different materials to upgrade your airships, add more defense, add more weapons, different kinds of weapons, grenades, rifles, cannons, and
what's the name of this game again?
This game is Airships, Conquer the Skies.
Airships, Conquer the Sky. So, yeah, you know, and this is not, this has nothing to do with the developer. I'm just probably not that smart to play this game. That looked crazy.
It looked crazy.
Like
I like the ship that you built. Looked pretty neat.
But you can customize, build everything. It's all totally customizable.
Our nation was Media Glitch.
I noticed that. Thank you.
Nice.
I seen him put that in there.
Conquering in the name of Media Glitch.
I like that.
So I mean, it's completely customizable, and there's just so much to it that if you're into strategy games, you'll definitely want to sink your teeth into it.
Okay. Well, sadly, Dustin, as much as I love Dustin, we all love Dustin, get off my set, because I'm not feeling that game. I'm feeling the Soul Worker.
It's awesome.
Dude,
it's awesome.
You're winning with those Daisy Dukes. Let's see what else.
Oh, no.
Oh, Miranda's in the house. Everyone, a round of applause for Miranda.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do reviews sometimes still.
Yeah, okay. What do you got?
Well, I got
something
a
to
game
rival
that,
the Daisy Dukes?
You know, I think I do.
Okay.
Actually, now this is a game we've of course heard before. We did a full review a while back for the game Dead Cells.
Okay.
Now, so this review will be kind of post-alpha because it was in alpha for like 15 months.
We re-reviewed
the beta.
alpha.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So now this is complete game.
Exactly. And
Give
so
your
this
review.
is where,
Is it better than Soul Worker?
Well, let's see here. So just real quick, it does come to us from the developer Motion Twin for $24.99 on Steam. So allow me to reintroduce you to Dead Cells. So in this game, you play a clump of primordial ooze that takes possession of what seems to be a corpse. You have these really awesome kind of retro graphics, which I believe you liked before, Joel. And this is
a
the sped up
pretty looking
gameplay.
game, dude.
Oh yeah,
It's
a Castlevania
It looks so much
roguelite.
faster than what? Is that sped up?
I did speed it up.
Oh, okay. I was like, that looks way faster than you guys when you brought it last time.
Right.
Well, but this is how you feel. This game is kind of incredibly fun to play because there's just a flow to moving along and through the game. So it's a one-shot. Once you die, you start at the very, very beginning of the movie, or the game again, as primordial ooze slipping into some corpse and the guard sort of laughs at you. But as you go through it, it's almost like, did you ever see the movie Edge of Tomorrow, where you kind of relive the same day?
Watch Tom Cruise die again and again.
Yes, that's actually why it was so popular,
awesome.
I think. Well, you kind of have that benefit here, except as you learn, you develop things, you collect these dead cells that you use to advance your character so that you have these permanent upgrades. And that helps you to get through it. There's a ton of secrets to the game. You can go into these different challenge rifts, which of course will give you additional bonuses. There's a lot of tongue-in-cheek to the game as far as the NPCs that you run into. It's also a very, very difficult game. You know, being a roguelite type game, you have lots of challenges, lots of things that kill you, and of course once you die, you get to start all over again. So it definitely encourages you to bring your A game, but I cannot get over how fun it is in these environments. Like the color palette for the game is absolutely incredible, in addition to the sort of retro style graphics that you're getting out of it.
What's the price too?
$24.99 on Steam.
His is free.
His is free, but there's another bonus that came post-alpha that I think you might be excited about. So, and by the way, the boss battles are also very retro, difficult, take forever. I didn't have the best gear for that one, so that took a while.
Okay.
Now,
so.
I did want to point out though,
right.
because as we did the review for alpha, that's a lot of the same stuff.
Okay.
What they have added for post-alpha and the full release is Twitch integration.
What is that?
I didn't get a chance to get footage for that, so I apologize, but basically you can stream your gameplay. You can, the people in the chat can win a chance to be the Captain Chicken and join you in the game as sort of an NPC that can heal you or help send monsters your way. The audience can actually
that sounds like fun.
That does sound awesome, man.
Yes, it is really exciting to what I read about anyway. Fair warning, I did read that from a website. It wasn't not me.
So let us know in the comment section if she's full of it. You know what I mean?
But no, the Twitch integration seems so fun because you can interact with the audience. There's chat that will appear on your screen, which you'll want to watch your your word filter for that one. But yeah, there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek add-ons for the audience to enjoy the game with you. So I think that adds a whole lot of fun. If you're enjoying a roguelike game, you want to run around this Castlevania environment, and you want the audience to participate, I think that's a pretty good winner.
Man, she sold that thing.
I'm a little nervous.
And let me just say, I already know. I haven't even watched a lot of Dead Cell reviews, and I already know that everyone's loving it. Though everyone's loving it. And honestly, Soulworker was winning because it's free, and it's more like that graphic style, that level 5, that that anime
like
feel.
Those past tense words that you just used.
I love that.
I love it.
But honestly, like, the interaction with an audience always wins over, especially because we're streamers. We stream a lot, and it's just, if there's any way we can bring in the audience into the stream, I'm always down for that. Like, your game was winning until she put that out there.
I'm all on board for Captain Chicken. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, nothing against your game. Your game looked really great, and thank you all the developers who sent games, but you got to get off my couch now. I thought you were going to be here the whole time after I seen those.
That's what I thought too.
Daisy
Bye.
Dukes. All right, so we're going to bring on a show favorite, Michael Brown. How you doing?
Hey, I forfeit.
You forfeit? You're like, I already like Dead Cells better? All right, so.
We should just all go stream Dead Cells.
You've been on the road driving your truck all night. You finally got here. You had a chance. I'm just kidding. I'm messing with your show.
No, I played, what was it, 2 weeks ago? The Trucker Dude, remember?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the game you reviewed last time.
Me, so.
Okay, you should have wore that last week. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a game called Medieval Shopkeep.
Yes.
And please, indulge us.
So let me preface this by saying Medieval Shopkeep is in alpha testing. So I just want to say that. But let's take a look at Medievalshopkeepersimulator.
Why do they send us these? All right,
I don't know.
Go.
All right, so very quickly you can see that the game has sort of a Minecraft feel to it.
I actually like I kind of like the look there.
It's not bad. Visually, the like old graphic style charm is it's probably, I hate to say this, but probably the best thing about the game. Like, I really am just forfeiting to Miranda, but I do want to tell you guys about the game. So you're in this game. It looks nice, but there's just not a lot of content.
What are they walking like that for?
Yeah.
They're like cardboard standees.
Was that your asset?
I guess so. It's supposed to be longer than that.
Oh, was it?
No, but
we might have had it. We have issues.
It doesn't matter. I can seriously tell you about it. Basically, you load into the game, and there were so many flaws that it made it really tough to play. Like in the very first part of the game, in my inventory I have a key, and I'm supposed to put it in a box and open a door. But through the inventory system, I had the key on my cursor, and I couldn't click the X to close the inventory screen, so I couldn't click the door with the key because the inventory screen was taking up my whole screen. But I couldn't close it because I was holding the key.
Here's my question that I ask. Anytime someone reviews beta or alpha games, how many times do you have to reset the game?
6.
Exactly.
Within an hour.
Get off my set. Dude. Like, if you have to reset your game 6 times.
Yeah.
No, okay, so congratulations, you are the winner. Here.
That's right, I am.
Have a seat, come over here.
Now
I got 1 minute before I got to cut to commercial.
Oh, all right.
So let's bump the developers again. What do you know?
Yeah, it's Motion Twin. It's a company out of France, 11-person company actually. They've been in business since about 2001. They've made a lot of free games, so this is actually their first real full game. And I definitely recommend buying the one for PC or Steam because you get the Twitch integration, and that's super fun.
Oh, so that's not for PS4 or Switch?
It may be for PS4. The ones I saw were specifically Twitch and Stream. But I still won, so I didn't really feel the need to tell you that till later.
Awesome. So congratulations, the developers of Dead Cells, for winning this month's or this week's, because we do this a lot.
Yeah.
America's Next Indie Devs Got Talent Survivor Edition Miami.
Yes.
You are the winner.
That's right.
Thank you so much. So we're going to cut to commercial. Before we do, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And we got some great reviews coming up. You're not going to want to miss it. After this commercial break, we will see you in a minute. Welcome back from that commercial break. I hope you guys got everything taken care of, your business. That's what I do when I'm a commercial break. Oh, let me go. Okay, or if you're on YouTube, you've seen an ad right now. You probably just skipped it, and we got no money. But our next review, a game called Narcosis. Now, when I was 3 years old, 4 years old maybe, my mother was a huge horror fan, okay? And she was watching the movie Jaws. And she screamed for me and made me sit down by her side as a 4-year-old kid and watch Jaws because she was too scared to watch it alone.
It's a scary movie.
That starts my fear of water. If anyone knows me, my close friends know that I don't even like taking baths. Let's be honest. Like I'm deathly afraid of the water.
That explains so much.
Yes, that explains. And so you have a game you want to review that was sent to us, and we thank the developers. The developers are Honor Code Incorporate, right? Yep. And it's out. You got it for Steam?
For Steam.
I got it for PS4. I believe I was playing on PS4. So tell us a little about what you're bringing to this table here.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's take a look at Narcosis. So this is a survival horror game. Takes place on the bottom of the ocean floor.
Oh, yeah.
So those of you that have like a deathly fear of the ocean, oh man, and if you love horror games, this is the game for you. So this is absolutely terrifying. So you're stuck. The premise of the story is you're in a diving suit, and you're a part of a mining company. Is doing these operations. You've been doing this for a while. You're a professional. When all of a sudden you're walking in tandem with this guy behind you, and an earthquake hits, like an 8 on the Richter scale earthquake, and just wrecks all your equipment. You go sliding down to the bottom of the ocean. Which, as you guys might know, it's pretty dark down there. There's not a lot of light that permeates down to the bottom of the ocean floor. So you're sitting there in your suit. You're looking at your oxygen. You're looking at your flares that you have.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
That's as far as I made it. Once a while.
It's terrifying.
My like mad respects to the developers. Once you're on that bridge and the earthquake and it blows you out and stuff, and then you're down there. That was it for me. I can't, man. My stomach hurts, dude. Just thinking about it, dude. I can't do underwater stuff. And so I wanted to contribute more to this review.
Right.
But it was like,
I had a hard time.
Even when I was walking underneath, and all of a sudden you just see like a jellyfish or something go by, I'm like,
yeah, no, me too. I was jumping. Like, and the control scheme of the game really leads into the horror aspects of it. It's so clunky. You can just feel yourself weighted down by this just heavy suit. You're sitting in it, and it's just like thunk, thunk. Yeah. Just slowly moving forward, and you can turn, and your turn is like thunk, thunk. Like, so everywhere you're looking, it's so slow, and you're stuck inside this helmet. So when you try to move with your mouse to look around, your head just kind of goes chunk, up against the side of your helmet.
Yeah, so I noticed that.
You feel claustrophobic and trapped in like the weight of the ocean. Like it really, the control schemes convey that horror very clearly. So.
And you have to I don't know how much you're going to talk about the controls, but you really have to watch like oxygen levels, battery. Yeah. It's really got this. Are you going to talk about this?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's jump right in. We can jump right into my next segment. So this is a true survival horror game. In the sense that, you're at the bottom of this ocean trying to survive. You have these different resources you have to manage while you're down here. You got this terrible looking flashlight. Your suit is equipped with flares. You got oxygen. You can see I'm kind of running low here. I'm actually filling up some oxygen so that I can move on to the next section. And you have a thrust. So that there's some platforming sections of the game, and you kind of use this thrust to get around. In fact, you can use it to get places faster. There's some terrifying aspects. Those are all my just rows and rows of suits of, I assume.
Why is your view so small?
I'm blacking out.
Oh my gosh, stop it.
This is me like just panicking. I can't breathe, and I'm seeing these horrifying bodies and just everything. So what's interesting about this game is that the management of it is that you're managing your oxygen to get these next checkpoints, because it's largely you're just walking around, but you'll witness these horrifying events that cause your heartbeat.
See, stop! I can't even watch this. I can't even watch your footage.
It's so scary. You sent me a terrifying game. So when you look at things like this, your heart rate goes up in the game, in and outside of the game too.
Yeah.
You're opposite there like da-da.
Oh, like in your suit that you're wearing.
Yes. So that causes you to use more oxygen, and so you have to look away from these horrifying things that are happening, Otherwise, you won't make it. But you can hear the noises. You can see the creatures. Like, there's a rudimentary.
Stop. Oh, did he just ink you?
He just inked me. So now I can't see. He's floating around my body somewhere, doing something to me. And you'll see here in a second. There's a rudimentary combat
Having
system.
his way with you.
Yeah. You just have a knife that you have to fend off these creatures with. So I fight him, and I'm like, I'm done. The game kind of encourages exploration as you go along. That was actually a log of all the people who are a member of the mining company.
Oh, okay.
The game makes you feel incredibly lonely. You know, you just feel the sense that no one's around you, no one's coming to save you. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna get out of this?
I didn't even get that far into the game, and
shivers,
immediately,
you know?
I felt that way.
Yeah.
And it was, I like an idiot. I didn't know what I was getting into. I'm playing at night. You know?
Yeah.
And kids are asleep. It's totally dark. Hell, what is this? What is this Narcosis game? Let's load it up. Oh my goodness, forget it, dude. I couldn't even do it. I couldn't.
The gravity of the situation.
And it's supposed to be VR, right?
Yeah. So the game is supposed to be VR. I didn't play in VR. No way.
I'd have lost it.
Yeah. There's no way I would have
There's no
made it 3 minutes in the game playing VR. Would be my guess. But it's just so terrifying. You know, that sense of being lonely, that sense of, you know.
It's a different kind of survival horror.
This is something that could actually happen to you, I think is what is scary. Well, you know, being down at the bottom of the ocean, you know, you could have a profession in which, you know, something happens, an earthquake, and, you know, it just feels so real.
Dude,
a lot of these spaces.
I can't, guys. You didn't see me when that footage was going on. I was rolling around my desk here because I just.
So this is not the game for Joel. It might be the game for you. But
oh my gosh,
the game's just, it's so interesting, and the environments that you're exploring, they're a lot of fun. But it takes a really bizarre turn.
Oh, okay.
And so I kind of want to show you just kind of the weird nature of this game. That, you know, since it being a survival horror, it really plays with you psychologically.
This is the part where I ate shrooms or something. Dude, what's going on?
So you're down there, and you're trying to manage not only these resources, but you're trying to manage your sanity. You know, you're trying to, and so you're out here in this field of roses, and you come across this pond, and you're like, how do I progress the game? Of course, you have to jump in.
Water?
Yeah, and boom, you wake up. And you're back.
And you're back
water. In it. You're back in it.
No, I can't.
You never escape.
That's so bad,
it's
dude.
So
I can't
bad.
do this.
So it just barely permeates the darkness, like all this stuff. And so this is me at the absolute depths.
Dude.
You know, magma, extreme temperatures, crazy creatures.
Dude, I can't even look at that footage, dude.
Well, luckily the clip's over.
It's just so like, there's nothing in this world I can think of worse.
I'm terrified of the ocean too.
Are you?
This is great, but I love horrifying games, and you know, you always get those games that, you know, they have, like, you know, zombies and demons and ghosts and things like that are terrifying. But when you get to like a true to life horror,
that doesn't even scare me. Those things.
And when it's something like the bottom of the ocean, I know a lot of people have a lot of fears surrounding water in the ocean, such as yourself.
Just thinking about it right now, dude. Right. I'm serious. Like, I think about monsters. I think about. Seriously, dude. I could freak out, man. Seriously.
And that's how you feel in the game.
And you know what?
You sit there and you're panicking.
This weekend, you seen the trailers for the Meg?
The Meg, yes.
My wife wants to take me to that. Just to see me squirm, dude.
Oh yeah, there's a whole genre of film. You know, 47 meters below.
Oh,
Jaws,
yeah, dude, no.
The Meg.
Oh my gosh.
People are afraid of the ocean and what lies within.
The Titanic is a horror movie to me, dude. It's just like you know what I mean? It's like that's how bad I have it, dude.
But that's how I felt in this game too, and it conveys that there's all sorts of flora and fauna at the bottom of the seafloor that you're gonna encounter. There's those giant arachnid-looking king crabs, and you know, these are creatures that you have to avoid because the claws have the power to puncture your suit. And when you get close to him, he just shoves that claw straight through your camera, right into your suit, punctures it, and you lose. There's sections in which there's platforming where you're jumping, and you'll just barely miss, and you'll see yourself like grasping as you float
I know.
down.
I died, and I was floating down once, and you start to see the shield start to crack as the pressure gets more, and I'm just like,
and you're just like, what have I done?
I can't do this.
I've made a huge mistake.
Oh gosh.
All sorts of just horrifying elements that you ended up. There's weird visions of like the people that you think may still be alive.
Yeah, I seen one. I found a guy. He was being like he was dead or was moving, and then all of a sudden he appears right in front of you.
Yeah, yeah. And so I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed the game. Yeah, I will say that the game's not particularly long. I want to say the total gameplay is in between 3 and 4 hours.
That's
if you
it?
Take it slow. If you go and find all the collectibles, if you find all the dead bodies and like the key cards that are on them, you learn a little bit more.
Those are the collectibles. I love it.
Yes, yeah.
Did you find all the dead bodies on the bottom of the sea?
Yeah, you like take a picture of them, store them in your log, you know, so you can.
What's the ticket on there? Because 4 hours.
Surprisingly, well, with it being a VR title and all that, you know, those always run a little bit higher, but it is $19.99 on Steam.
Okay.
If you guys are interested, if you're particularly afraid of the ocean, if you like going through things that challenge your fears, I definitely recommend picking up this game from, what was it, Honor Code?
Honor Code Incorporated.
They made an excellent game that truly touches on the fear and horror elements of those people that, there's like there's a word for it, I think it's called thalassophobia, is like the fear of the ocean and what lies within it. So those of you with thalassophobia,
my stomach is here. I'm not kidding you guys. This is how bad it is. My stomach's in knots.
Yeah.
Just listening to this review. That's how bad I have it. Dude.
I played through it, but yeah, it was rough.
Oh my gosh. So $19.99 to me it seems a little steep for a 4-hour game. But I mean, if you're into that, if you're like
check it out on VR. Those of you that have VR, you know, definitely let me know down in the comments how that changes it if you've had that experience.
Let us know that the experience you had in VR, because I would love to know. And here's a question to the audience as well. What I want to know, because I talk with you guys all the time, what are your biggest fears? What do you fear? Because like the bottom of the ocean, what a brilliant idea that someone had. Let's make a game like this. It's a brilliant idea for people like me. Sadly, developers, I will never play through your game. I am just too terrified. So good job. You did it right. I tried. So I want to know in the comment section below, what are your guys' biggest fears? And have they made a game about it? If they haven't, what game would you like to see made into that? So awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
For coming on, reviewing this game. Again, the game is called Narcosis, guys, and it's by Honor Code Incorporated. So we're gonna cut to a commercial. Before we do, don't forget to like the video, comment if you haven't, subscribe if you haven't, and we're gonna come back with Titan Quest, a review on Titan Quest, so you're not gonna wanna miss that. So stay tuned after this commercial break. What's up, guys? Back from that commercial break. I literally had to get up. You can ask these guys. I got up and I walked around after that last review because it's just my stomach. Oh my goodness. So what a great game. We got another game that just recently came out on PS4, Nintendo Switch, and I believe maybe Steam. It's probably been on Steam. It's an older game from what I understand. It's called Titan Quest. I am joined here by John Sakura and Michael Brown. So John, you are reviewing this game. I have Michael on there because he's an OG Titan Quest player. So if we have time, we're gonna hear from him more towards the end. But John, take your liberty. What do you have? What did you bring us? Is this game worth it?
Okay. So, having never played this before.
You're playing on what?
I'm playing on the Switch.
Switch, okay.
Playing on the Switch. And, you know, portability is always really nice. Playing on the big screen is nice, but I play in bed a lot, so this is the perfect
We won't
place.
go into that.
No, yeah, Ariel just stares at me angrily while I play my Switch.
Okay.
Yes. I had never played this game, and I had known of it from the original release, but never really paid much attention to it. So this was a fairly new experience for me. And so actually when I first popped it on, I wasn't really thinking about it, and I was like, this game looks a little bit dated, but it wasn't. I mean, it was very clean looking. Just it's older graphics, just sort of up-resed, upscaled a little bit. And you know, let's go ahead and just let's check out the intro. Let's go ahead and start with that and see sort of where we're at. So we turned it on, and again, being unfamiliar with it, I wanted to go through and just sort of check everything out. Saw that it had multiplayer, online, local, and split screen. Didn't get a chance to actually try any of the multiplayer, but naturally, what is the most gladiatorial kind of name you could possibly pick? Sacolius. Okay? And so Sacolius ends up going to Greece, hanging out. He gets on his boat and sails across the land. There is a story to this game, and I'll be totally honest. I was uninvested in whatever was actually going on because I was invested in just killing things. Okay, so we're gonna get into that, but the game starts off with you getting to customize your character to a degree. You get to choose his name, you get to choose the difficulty. You can say, I want a red tunic or a yellow tunic or a brown or white or whatever.
Girl.
You chose a girl. You can choose male and female.
I did play too, so.
And so it pops you off a little bit of a story as well too. And I think I actually just end up skipping this right here again because I wanted to sort of get into the meat and potatoes of the game.
Which what every reviewer should do.
Which is, yeah, exactly.
I'm kidding.
No, every.
I should slap you. I'm just kidding. Keep going.
Well, actually, you know that I'm also not one to play games for story. This is something I get a lot of discussions with. But if the game is fun, then a great story complements that.
Right.
And so, because I wasn't really invested in what was going on, I didn't care too much because I was having fun. Anyway, I didn't even know what was going on. They're like, hey,
it's awesome.
There's a bunch of boars in my village. And I was like, all right, that's the kind of game this is.
That's how it starts off.
Yeah, now there's a bunch of wolves in the cave.
Okay, well, you got the gist of it. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, keep going.
Okay, so you land on the shores of Greece, right outside of Helios, the village, which is the main starting point of the game. You take off the road. And what I liked about this game as well, too, is every NPC you come across that you can speak with, and they have little, I can't remember the stupid word for it, but there's indicators to let you know that they want to chat with you.
Right.
They're all voice acted. And that's always a nice little,
I thought that was really nice.
It's very welcoming, exactly. And so the game itself looks pretty clean. It's pretty easy to play, very straightforward, really. You run around in a 3D world, very much like Diablo. And so once I played this, popped in, I said, oh, that's basically what this is. Pseudo-isometric Diablo-style game. So I go on a quest with this dude. He says, kill the boars and kill the satyrs. And the game's a lot of killing quests. You kill stuff in the formula, you level up, and eventually you start speccing for different jobs and classes that you want to do. So as I was playing this, I remember, thinking, I don't really care what's going on. Like, I never really felt like I was invested in anything that was happening. Not that it was bad.
You're trying to kill your horse, right?
I was trying to.
Okay, that's not a good thing.
Actually, it was a very good thing because let me explain what I was trying to do. So, the biggest issue that I actually had with this game, let's get into that real quick, is maybe I just don't know. I pressed every single button on this controller. I could not figure out how to switch between targets, and it was a detriment to what I was doing. And maybe that was mapped to a secret button that I never knew about. But I would come across leagues and hordes of enemies that I just couldn't figure out how to kill without killing whatever was actually just selected.
There's the camera movement, which I think is cool.
Yeah, you can zoom in really far.
You can't really move the camera.
Right, and the graphics are fine. The guy kind of prances a little bit weird, but it's a good-looking game. I would say, having not known what the or really looked into the older game, I would say it looked kind of like, this is I would think it's like a $20 game, $20 budget kind of game. But it was kind of antiquated in some regards, only that it's a little bit slower, because obviously when you get a game like this, you're going to compare it to, say, Diablo, or there's a game that you recommended from the same developers.
Path of Exile?
Path of Exile,
yeah, Grim Dawn.
Grim Dawn,
yeah.
And some like these newer games that might be sped up a little bit because this game seems like a really great HD port, but also that's going to be for fans of the game originally.
Right.
People who played the game, when it first came out, maybe wanted to relive it or maybe heard from their friends. But as a newer game, it's a little bit trickier to kind of swallow because the pacing isn't quite as good. It's not quite as in depth as say Grim Dawn or Diablo since then. But it was fun, and I found myself, despite not, again, craving story, I craved playing it, because I'm sitting here killing wolves, going back, let's go ahead and check out some more gameplay, and I'll explain more of what's going on. So the formula is fairly basic as far as I could tell, and I played a good probably like 10 hours of some of my earlier footage, and you're going on quests for people, and hey, this goblin stole my hand basket, so you go kill the goblin, get the guy's hand basket, or this gigantic stupid goblins, or this this gigantic troll is standing outside my house, telling dirty jokes, and I don't like that. I have wholesome humor, and so you go and you do these missions for people. You go and try to help them out, and they give you gold and experience for completing these quests. Sometimes they'll give you items. And right here, my character actually is, I don't even remember the class. It's kind of like a hunter, I guess. I can summon a pet, and this wolf comes along and hangs out with me and kills stuff. And as you level up, you can start speccing to certain like attribute points. And as these points increase, you can also use that to equip new items and new armor and new trinkets to your character. So it's grinding for the sake of getting better and better equipment. Basically grabbing as much as you can, going back into town, and then selling all your stuff, and then going back out and doing it again. Luckily, you can warp to town from any point, and then from town warp back to the warp point that you created initially. So it's I found myself craving playing this game. I didn't even care what was going on, but I love just hack and slash, killing skeletons, casting spells on them, going into caves, just killing things. But there's one thing that I noticed that was not remarkable to me, and I felt that I don't remember any music. It felt very muted and ambient, which I don't think is inherently bad, but it didn't stand out to me as being anything exceptional.
Okay.
That said, the sound effects are really good, and I think really good, clean, strong sound effects can go a long way, but the music did not really captivate me in such a way that I would be humming any of these songs ever.
Right.
So.
For sure. And if you die, I noticed you can lose experience, stuff like that, right?
Yes, yeah, and it works.
What's the skill tree?
So here's the skill tree. I'm sort of showing off a couple things, and you can get these experience points. You can put them on that meter on the left to increase the things you're allowed to buy, and then as you buy certain perks, you can increase the level of those specific perks. So I can summon a wolf, then I can summon a stronger wolf, but I can't summon the bird because my meter on the left isn't high enough. And so with this particular class, I wanted to go and continue leveling up so I could just summon all kinds of beasts and monsters and have them help kill things for me.
I will say I loved like killing a bird because like all the feathers.
Oh, you explode them. Yeah, hitting a bird so hard with a hatchet that it bursts is incredible. Like that must take a lot of precision. But see right here, this is what I'm talking about. That skeleton up there, I was targeting him, so I have to run through all those other skeletons to kill him because no other button on the controller would auto-target him unless he was dead. And then it might target somebody closer automatically.
So, Michael, is that a Switch problem?
I haven't played the Switch version. I played PS4 and Xbox One. I remember actually, I played it on PC way back in the day.
Okay, yeah.
Then I got it for PS4, Xbox One, and I remember having that same problem. I think the way that I fixed it was you have to use the right analog stick, and when you point it in a direction, it'll target whatever you're pointing it towards.
I wondered because if you press it right and left, nothing happens as far as, but if you press up and down, it just adjusts the camera.
Well, if you hold it, there's a beam.
Right.
That comes out of the guy.
I don't find that to be intuitive.
Okay.
I did notice that occasionally because I kept trying to heal myself and I kept healing my wolf over and over. And in the middle of battle, it's a really impractical thing to do quickly. You know, so because there was not a whole lot that would lend itself towards immediate or quick action. But it was a minor gripe. You sort of get around it, and once you're so strong, you just sort of tank through things. It didn't really matter. But the graphics, they were clean. They're simple. They're not overly complex, but they're clean. It looks like they cleaned up some textures, and the high resolution works for what they're doing. So
it's interesting that it's such an older game, and I'll say this from my experience that it was playing catch up sometimes to render out some of the graphics. Like I literally seen a pixelated Minecraft bush for like a couple seconds till it turned into a nice looking bush, which was interesting for such an old game. You think it'd be okay, you've had 10 years to optimize this thing. It's probably
every now and then you would get texture pop in, and I was walking across a bridge and just nothing had loaded up at all. It's kind of nasty looking. In fact, it might even be right here. We'll see. So.
Part of my concern with this game when I found out it was being remastered was the original company that made it, Iron Lore, sold it to, I believe, THQ.
Okay.
THQ Nordic,
it's the THQ.
And my fear was when they published this, I was afraid they weren't really going to have the passion for it that the original people who created it
so
might have. Exactly.
I didn't know. Did they remaster it? Does this look better than the original?
Slightly,
I
suppose.
Think of a game
nothing
from 200006. Think of something like that and sort of see where this is visually and compare it, in your mind's eye.
Like John said, sharper res textures. That's
sort of like an up-res game. It sort of seems, nothing complex. The character models don't look, outstanding, but they look fine because they're also far away. And I remember running away from these enemies, and I just got stuck there because there are a couple of clipping issues that make it feel kind of like, where can I actually go if it's not clearly indicated?
Well, okay. Well, let me just say, I actually really, really enjoyed this game.
Yeah.
Big time.
I agree.
I had a really good time, and I don't know. I got so addicted, and I was so into it, and I was like, man, I had to move on to other games.
It's addicting to play.
But I was in it.
Leveling up it feels like it gives you like this sort of rush, you know?
And I just like going through the weapons and selling them and stuff like that. That was a good time. Now, Michael, you bought this for the PS4 as well?
Yeah, I did.
And so, what is it? Is it worth? Because how much is it going for?
$39.99.
$39.
Which might seem a little steep.
Is it worth $39 in this day and age?
Here's where I would say it's worth $39.99 to certain kind of people. I'm a huge ARPG buff, and part of my gripe with like Diablo 3 is there's so little replayability in the game.
Yeah.
Like if you make a level 70 Whirlwind Barbarian, you can just and you get the best rend weapon in the game, you change your character on the fly, right? In this game, when you get to level 10, you can pick a second class, so you can multi-class.
Right.
Well, if you get this character to level 80, 90 with 2 different classes, and then all of a sudden the best weapon in the game drops for a third class, it's time to re-roll your character.
Right.
So there's way more replayability in this game, in my opinion, than like Diablo 3.
Right on.
But you know,
Several different classes in this, yeah.
So it really depends on what you're into. For me, it's probably worth $39.99, but for people who aren't super into ARPGs, maybe not.
I'd probably be more tempted at a $20 price point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really depends on, again, how interested you are.
So maybe we're waiting on a sale for this one, unless you're into
if you're iffy about it, I'd say wait for a sale. But if it's something that looks like it's going to be up your alley, if you like Diablo-style ARPGs.
Or if you're into this style of game, but you don't like the price point, look for Grim Dawn on Steam. It's made the original, the main producer for Titan Quest created his own company, and now he's got an ARPG called Grim Dawn on Steam that's amazing. It's supposed to be coming to PS4 and Xbox One soon. So,
what I did think though, I was like, I was playing on PS4, but when I was playing, I was like, this would be great on the Switch.
I played it better a lot portable. Yeah, exactly. Well, leveling up, I'm sitting there and leveling up is great. Leveling up while you watch TV, leveling up while you just,
Well, if we have time, what were you saying about Diablo earlier? The announcement for Diablo today?
Oh, yeah.
We got to cut to a commercial.
Yeah, commercial's
quickly say it.
Well, Diablo 3 got announced for Switch, and it has Zelda content.
Oh, that's true.
There you go.
I did hear that it got
So for some people who are on the fence, this is actually almost poor timing, but...
Right. Well, this will get you to Diablo. I don't
That's
think
true,
it's
yeah.
going to be
In the meantime,
out next week. So.
For sure.
All right. That being said, we got to cut to commercial, guys. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll be back with a review of Anamorphine after this. Welcome back from that commercial break. I am here with my good friend Megan. How are you today?
Doing
Pink hair. We had a long weekend, right?
Yeah, we sure did.
We were at Game On Expo this weekend, and
it was awesome,
I think
though.
I've gained about 10, 15 pounds.
I know that I gained at least 5 pounds just eating like that tiny sliver of cheesecake. It was ridiculous amount of sugar, though. Oh,
Right, you're all loud on the intercom and stuff.
Like,
I hear you.
Yeah.
Out there in the world, it's crazy.
Howdy, world.
Hopefully there's not an echo on our stuff. So, Game On Expo was awesome.
Oh, it was fantastic.
We're not here to talk about that.
No.
We're here to talk about Anamorphine.
Anamorphine.
So, please indulge us.
So, let's take a look at the mind-breaking world of Anamorphine. So Anamorphine is on the PlayStation 4 and also on Steam. It's a VR game, and you're playing as Tyler. He is the wife of Elaine, who is a cello player for like a quartet, and this game deals with a lot of depression, mental illness, anxiety, suicidal thoughts. So this game is not for people who might have struggles with those, because you can get triggered in a way with this game. There's a lot of alcohol references and pills and stuff like that. But this game is definitely a mind trip as you're playing through Tyler's perspective and how he deals with somebody who's suffering from a mental illness. So it's kind of a different perspective than a lot of other games that deal with mental illness, just because normally you're playing as the character, and this one you're playing as somebody who is witnessing them go through it.
Right.
And there's not any voice acting, so the game is just you going and just kind of experiencing everything that he's seeing, everything that he's feeling, in a sense. So it's very story driven. There's not a whole lot of action in it. You're just going to be kind of moseying through.
A walking simulator.
Definitely
Yes.
one of those. And it's
not that that's a bad thing.
Not that it is a bad thing, because there's like PT for all those horror game players.
That's awesome.
That's to me, that is going to be a lot like a walking simulator. But this game was given to us by Artifact 5, which is the developers and the publishers. This is kind of their pet project and their passion. They've been working on it for a really long time, and they really wanted to highlight what it's like being on the outside of watching somebody go through this and how they're feeling opposed to knowing what they're going through. But like you said, this is a walking simulator. And maybe in a second, there we go. All right, so you are going to be walking through this game from beginning to end. And this is where, like, I had a couple problems with the VR. When I would put it on and start it up, it wouldn't switch over to VR. It would just be like that nice rectangular flat.
I forgot to render those guys there.
Oh yeah, nothing.
I'm kidding.
You just have.
I'm sure it's part of this stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. You only see Elaine, which is the other character. So VR, I couldn't quite get it to work, so I played this all in flat version. And I'm kind of glad I did, because you control this whole thing with analog sticks. So if you get motion sickness, it's gonna hit.
I'll be honest with you, I got motion sickness playing this just normally. I had to turn the settings way down.
Oh yeah, sensitivity, you've got to lower it really far, because otherwise your character's going to fly off looking somewhere. And since it is a walking simulator, when you look at something, like for example, you're supposed to look at these balloons and it triggers the next part of this scene. So you have to go around looking for like little glowing objects, and they'll get flown out of
you will absolutely never push a button.
No, you never push a button.
Except to get it started.
You just move around and look around.
So game is even saying game is a bit of a stretch.
I mean, it's definitely a walking simulator with some sort of story element. Something that, like, to me was really cool was how you moved through each section, and you could see how the main character, Tyler, who you are playing, seeing how his world is crumbling around him as he's watching his wife deal with, and I'm not going to spoil it, deal with some serious things that go on, just randomly happen to her. And
you're going to know by the second or third.
Yeah, you're going to know pretty early.
You know where it's going.
But the things that I did like was the transition from one memory to the next. Like those were beer bottles.
Very well done.
And you would just walk through it, and I really enjoyed that. And then some
or how they ended a transition. Sometimes with a selfie, and then all of a sudden you're outside.
Yeah,
of
you would just
selfie.
like boom, and then it would be a photo. Yeah. And like here is kind of him dealing with her shutting him out. I mean, they took it very literal. So I mean, you definitely, there's a little bit of a literal sense to it. There's a little bit of some drug overdose going on in this game. This part I actually played in VR, and I just couldn't do it because the ground's moving, and
it's breathing. Almost breathing.
Yeah, it's moving, it's waving, and then you're also trying to move around with the analog sticks. So you have no depth perception. It just feels like the whole world is moving, and I think that's kind of what they were going for when they played some of those areas, because there's like that spot, and then there's when you're driving drunk on a bicycle and everything's like kind of flipping on top of itself. So I mean, playing it in VR was really, really cool, but if you even have the slightest sense of motion sickness, this game is just almost too much for you to play in VR. I would highly suggest playing it in flat. But with that being said, there were some pretty amazing things about the game that I really loved, and then there were some things that it was almost game breaking. And one of those is the music that I absolutely love. So let's take a listen. All right, so obviously, since one of the main characters is a cellist, there's going to be a lot of string instruments that are going to be going on in the background. Depending on how she's moody, it'll slightly change. But here's one of the things that it's not just me who had these problems, but it was a lot of people.
I know where it's going.
These were game breaking for me. You would hit a wall, you'd get stuck. There'd be horrific drops in frame rate. Like the photos like you liked, every time that photo would come up, it would drop the frame rate. And then this is something else that I really hated was this little main hub and then the loading screens. The loading screens would kill this game. And it really broke up everything. Like this was a frame rate drop. You could still hear me walking.
Yeah.
But it just stopped, and it completely takes you out of the experience. I mean, I understand, like, I couldn't get through this really cool transition. It looked really cool, but I was stuck. All of these things take you out of this experience that's supposed to be, like, you're supposed to feel how Tyler feels. Yeah. But every time the frame rate would drop to where you would just be stuck, or you would hit a wall and you'd be stuck and you'd have to reload, or that main hub after every mission, I guess, you would get put back in there, you'd have to go through a loading screen, and then you could go back into the main hub. It took me completely out of the game.
Yes.
And it made it to where I would just be like, well, now I played that cool little story bit, now I'm gonna have to sit here for 2 minutes and wait for it to load the next bit. And considering this game was downloaded on my hard drive, I didn't think that those load times should have been that bad. Right. I feel like they should have just completely gotten rid of the main hub area and just made you just keep going. I would rather just had a loading time between each little storyline instead of, oh, gotta go back to the main hub. It didn't really serve a purpose, and it takes you completely out of the game. And they're working feverishly to fix a lot of these glitches, but the game's already released, it's already in the public's hands, and I feel like those glitches that they already knew about is going to kill this game, like 100%. And for, it's on Steam and PS4, and it's $19.99. To me, with those still in existence, those glitches, it's going to kill the game. People are gonna give it some really bad reviews, even though the game itself is very brilliant. It knows what it is, and it's telling it from a different perspective. I feel like the game should get its due process and everything, and that it should be played. But as it is right now, it's almost not worth playing.
Right.
Just because of those glitches. And I hate saying that because I really, really enjoyed when it wouldn't glitch out. So I would definitely maybe pick it up when it's on sale. Maybe give it a few months and let them work through those glitches and those frame rate drops, and maybe around December, maybe? Yeah. I don't know. See if you can pick it up. But it's Anamorphine. It's on PlayStation 4 and PSVR. It's already released out on Steam, so it's been out on Steam for a while, and it's all VR. And the really cool thing is you can play it in flat version, or you can switch it over to PSVR.
But didn't you say it didn't?
I couldn't figure out how to switch it over in PSVR.
Yeah, so that's a problem.
So I probably it's easier on the other one.
I got some things to say about this, okay? So the whole idea of VR is that it's an immersive experience. Yeah. This is not an immersive experience, it's an interactive experience, because you are immersed until it's just stops.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're not walking anymore. It's immersive until you're sitting. Literally, I went and used the bathroom and came back and it was still loading.
Oh my gosh.
Some screens. And especially when you get to the end, once you start to beat the game, kind of like when you get to those end scenes, it feels like you do a minute of something, boom,
load screen.
Minute of something, boom, load. Now listen, developers, nothing against your game.
Oh, definitely
I say game loosely because, you know, it felt more like a tech demo because you're just walking around, you know?
Definitely.
A VR game, an interactive game, is Batman VR.
Yes.
A game that is so heavy like that. And I understand, you know, you guys are a small company, I get it. But I want to agree with Megan, you did yourself a disservice releasing it without fixing those bugs first, because Batman VR, it's seamless. There's no wait, there's no load time, and it's such a huge game. Granted, I get it, whole full team. But man, I mean, if you're gonna come correct. You
definitely.
know, so that's my take.
Oh, definitely. Because I mean, when you release something and they knew about a lot of the glitches, especially that first desert scene. They knew that it actually crashes.
Don't get me going on the desert bike scene, the last one. Couldn't even control that thing.
It crashes, and they knew about it, and they were like, okay, let's fix it, and they fixed it. But the thing is, it created a whole new pool of problems. And that's kind of where it actually started going downhill for me, was after that first one. Then all of a sudden I started to have the frame rate drops and everything.
And here's the thing, that hub, the more doors you open, the worse the choppiness gets. Like
it does.
You're just like
it really does. And I mean, those are game breaking. And you have a great game. You have a great story. You have a great perspective.
You have a great story. It's a interactive story.
Yeah, it's
hard to say it's a game.
Yeah,
not to be bogue. I'm not trying to be a punk here, okay? I'm giving you $20 is a lot.
Yes, definitely.
And this is my audience. I'm going to be honest with them too. Not that you're not.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? And you said maybe it goes on sale.
Definitely.
Fixes the bugs too, because it's just an interactive story, you know. So, and I did both. I got both endings. I went and did both endings.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, but we gotta go. We gotta finish the show up.
Oh, we gotta finish. Oh snap! We gotta finish the show, guys.
That being said, guys, have you guys played this game? What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you guys have been playing. Oh, definitely. I would love to see what you guys... What's your favorite VR game that's come out this year? Is still Batman VR. There's nothing better. I personally, I like Moss. With the little I haven't played Moss, and I've heard great things. It's fantastic. So I got to play. So that being said, thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.